Salutations everybody, it is Matty here today. I hope you're all doing well. I know I am, because today is a glorious day for RPGs, especially if you're a Nintendo Switch owner. Now I know The Outer Worlds is coming out next week, but if you want to get your RPG loving on, you don't have to wait any longer, because The Witcher 3 Complete Edition is now out for the Switch. It came out today as I record this video, and I did say Complete Edition for those of you who don't know, which means it comes with Hearts of Stone, it comes with Blood and Wine, all 16 pieces of DLC, every patch to hit this game, all right here. And so I'm really excited to talk about this game because it's been a while since we've had a really big RPG hit the channel. So we're going to be looking at this mainly from a tech perspective. How does it look? How does it run? How does it play? How does it feel in both handheld and docked? We're going to go all over that today. But before we do that, you have to support the physical version of this game if you're going to end up picking it up at the end of this video, because it comes with a lot of great stuff. It's not just this game case. It comes in a whole box, which you're going to see me unboxing right here. So when you unbox this thing, it comes with, of course, the game itself, but also a number of things. For starters, there is a CD Projekt Red thank you letter, which reads, "Dear gamer, welcome to a massive open world filled with stories that touch the soul, adventures that thrill, and secrets that keep you exploring. The complete edition contains every piece of content we've ever released for The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, 16 free DLCs, as well as 2 story expansions, Hearts of Stone and Blood and Wine. That's well over 150 hours of adventure ahead of you. Everything made with love. We'd like to massively thank you for buying our game. As a studio, we think there's a lot of value in honest and transparent communication. So honestly and transparently, without you supporting us, there would be no us to begin with. It's because of you that we can make a living doing what we love, telling stories through video games. In return, we work as hard as we can to bring you extraordinary games. We hope you see that reflected in Wild Hunt. Here's to having a fantastic time. Yours truly, everyone at CD Projekt Red." Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a port. This is a port to the Nintendo Switch. This did not need a thank you letter. So I'm curious what they're going to put inside Cyberpunk. Inside this little package, you'll also find a little sticker book. So if you want to slap this on your laptop or maybe your skateboard, a couple of places to put this, no big deal. And then there's also a compendium. Now, I just made a video about how game manuals need to become a thing. And it's as if CD Projekt Red was listening to me. Look at this compendium. It's got details about the main characters, bits of lore, learn about this universe. It's perfect if it's a first timer or it's been a while since you've actually played the game. And lastly is a poster, which you can line up on your wall, put it in a frame, what have you. It's of the world map, which I personally really thought was a nice touch. So that's why you want to support the physical edition if you're going to pick this up, because it's worth it. There's no price hike, and I actually got it from Walmart for $10 less than it's being sold for. Walmart's selling these Nintendo Switch games for $50 for, I'm not really sure what reason, but hey, go get a discount. Why not, right? Anyway, let's get into the actual game. How does The Witcher 3 run? There are a couple of stutters here and there. I saw a write-up by Kotaku that's titled very well, saying The Witcher 3 on Switch does its best. And that's how I really felt from the get-go, because in the foreground, what's happening in the foreground of every cutscene looks acceptable. It actually looks good sometimes, but when you're looking at the background, you can't help but notice everything's muddy, really bad textures. Like, it is seriously downgraded, but obviously the response to this has been, it's on the Switch, it's portable. A lot of people thought it wasn't possible, and it does say screw you to a lot of companies out there who have said we can't put game X on the Switch because it's too big. Well, we have one of the biggest games of this generation with all of its expansions and DLC now available on the Switch. So there is going to be sacrifices made. The game doesn't look as good, but here's where the kicker is, and where I think I have a bit of a unique perspective. Everyone's running around saying, go buy it. It's The Witcher on Switch. Don't you want to buy it? But here's the thing. If you want a PS4 or a PC, these are probably the best places to play it, unless you like playing games on your Switch only in handheld mode, because that's where this game looks its best, that's where it runs the best, that's where it feels the most unique. Because if you're gonna dock this and you already own a PS4 and Xbox One, then you may as well just pick it up and play it there, right? This game goes on sale on the PS4 and Xbox One constantly, and you can get the whole complete edition for $20 easily if you're patient. So the real lure to this version, in my opinion, is playing it on the go, because when you dock it, it's the most inferior version of them all. And if you have the option to play it on a TV elsewhere at a cheaper price, then you must have to really like the portable mode, which is something I'm really emphasizing here. It's not so awful that it's unacceptable on dock, but it doesn't look good and it doesn't run at its best. It's a very stretched image. There's black borders around the screen. I mean, it's not a good looking docked game. It's a technical marvel in many ways that it actually runs well and it looks somewhat acceptable in most parts of the game. But aside from that, you should be playing this game in handheld mode. That's where it's its most unique. That's the most useful feature in this version. Otherwise, you're just willingly hopping into a game that runs worse, looks worse, and you have other options and you're spending more on this particular version. Now, that may be why they decided to deck out the physical version with a ton of extra little goodies in there to entice people to purchase, because, I mean, let's be honest, that is one of the meatiest physical game packages I have seen in forever. It was mind-blowing opening that up and saying, I didn't pay extra for this. I mean, granted, yeah, a little thank you letter, a little sticker, that's not a big deal, but also the poster, the compendium. This is the stuff that myself and many others have been looking for when it comes to physical copies. One thing I'm really happy to report, though, is as I was playing this game, I was nervous about text size. This has been a major problem on the Switch, where the console won't properly scale text size based off where you're playing. Sometimes the text size will be based off docked, and then you'll move to portable, and it'll be the same size as docked, and it'll just be very hard to read. And this was actually an issue with The Witcher 3 when it first launched. The text was far too small and they enlarged it. I'm happy to report in this version that the text is large. You can read it on both versions. I know that may be like a whatever thing, but trust me when I say it's a common issue with Switch games, and I'm really happy to say that The Witcher 3, which had a problem at launch with this, does not have the problem here for the Switch. Another cool thing I noticed, I personally never played the Game of the Year edition for The Witcher 3. I had the base version and I just buy the DLC as it came out. And I honestly haven't replayed The Witcher 3 in a very, very long time. So for me, I was actually surprised to learn when you fire this game up, you have the option of a, quote, fresh start, which is the base game with all the expansions and DLC tied in. But let's say maybe you've already played the base game a million times over, but you haven't gotten into the expansions. You can start right off the bat with those expansions. It'll give you a leveled character, it'll disable the main quest, and it'll just put you in the world for, let's say, Hearts of Stone, or put you in the world for Blood and Wine. I really like this because it gave the consumer choice upon entering the product. Let's say you're interested in just Blood and Wine. I mean, that's a very big expansion, and you can get a lot of time out of it, where maybe you just want to head straight into there. You have the option to do so, and I think that's great. There's also a New Game Plus option there, which I believe has always been there, but still, I think this level of choice off the rip is very good for people, and you should be aware of it, because let's say you are like me, you've played the base game twice, and you just want to move on to the DLC, then you can go ahead and do that. I'm personally starting off with the base game anyway, because I'm just enjoying laying down in bed or in my living room and taking The Witcher 3 with me. That's why I really like this version, but you need to be aware that when you dock it, this game does not look good, it does not run that great, there's a lot of glaring issues there, and obviously these are needed sacrifices, so I'm not really cranking on the game. I'm more so saying spend your money wisely. I know it's very enticing to get on the CD Projekt Red love train, which is good, it's positive, and just fling your money at them, but you have to realize that the product has to be realistic and usable to you. If you have the option to buy this full package for $20, $30 tops on Steam, on your PS4, on your Xbox One, and you get everything there and it looks better, it runs better, then I have no idea why you would get it for the Switch unless you like the portability factor. So just keep that in mind if you're thinking about buying this game. Otherwise, I'm really enjoying hopping back into The Witcher 3. It's a nice game to play before The Outer Worlds comes out, and hopefully I'm going to be reviewing that. So I don't know if I'll actually finish The Witcher 3, but I bought this out of principle because I personally want to support CD Projekt Red. I like their practices, and also I like this game a lot. I like the physical edition. I wanted to support that, so I really was putting my money where my mouth is. We'll see if I actually end up getting hooked enough to finish it yet again. I may just honestly hop over into the expansions and play those again, because I played each of those just once. Also, just wanted to interject this to whom it may concern, because I know some people are weird like me, that The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt does not come with anything inside the actual game case itself. It's all inside the cardboard box that you'll get off the shelf. On the inside is just legal warnings and what have you. Nothing special, no alternate cover, nothing like that, which I don't think anyone was expecting given how much was in the actual physical copy, but still I wanted to make sure you guys were aware, because I noticed in my video about physical copies, a lot of you really care about that stuff. So just know, no alternate cover, just legal ruling. But I'd love to hear from you, ladies and gentlemen. Have you picked up The Witcher 3 on Switch? Does this game entice you? Are you interested? Let me know in the comments down below. Other than that, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. Those links are in the description down below, along with my Patreon. Do consider supporting that as it fuels all the content I create here. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.